Hi and welcome in this video for the last week of the Open Community Gauntlet V0. So previous to 2 weeks we made a 2-bit subtract, if above or equal, and this week is the 2-bit unsigned full divide. So we can see in this one there is a little twist. The last week circuit design is not fully ready for this one to be used. We need to augment it somehow, and this is the version that is augmented. So previously there was no any A2 bit. It's just 2-bit and 2 bits, not 3 for A and 2 for B. But with just this simple modification, we can have this 3rd bit taken into account. So I will do that. I know that previous week, the last week, I used the best from Gauntlet. But this week I don't want to use that because this circuit begin to be a little bit involved in terms of logic, and because I didn't do those solutions, when something goes wrong I don't see it properly. So I will just do the naive solution with a very large one that is really easy to read. So if we take this, I will squeeze that a little bit over there. Yes. And I have the 2-bit subtract if above or equal from last week. I will just give me a little bit of space. Just let's do that, Control A and delete. It's something that will be changed because it's not very practical. The camera just don't allow to go too far if the die is limited, but you can paste something that is gigantic and you won't be able to paste it where you want. So I used to just expand before, so I have a little bit of room to place my things. I will keep some space. We are doing giant chip this week, and I would like to have my so this will be changed. It's not in this version of the game, but I changed a bit the way probes and inputs are saved. Before, when you finalized something, so this is my version, yes. Before, when you saved a solution, doing so I pressed U, and there is the parenthesis button that allows to accelerate, so I just used to press that in quick succession to just launch the theme. And when you did save blueprint, it will just save this entire level without any probes and without the inputs. So it was not really practical because you had to remember by heart what was your inputs. So you could forget what was inside. The meaning of a component is to not bother too much what it's inside. But if, for example, we didn't knew that it was interleaved, or maybe it was just two complete different value, and we had no probes, we couldn't get the info when we pasted the blueprints. So before, you had to do a save all and then include all unclub probes, So it's not the latest version. So, but do bear that, keep in mind that you don't need to do that anymore, because now every time you validate a solution, it will save the probe with your blueprints, and you will have a new button here that will say includes probes when you paste, and then you will get everything you need. So I named that delete. Yes. So now I have my inputs, I have my two values. So this is the last version that is not augmented. So to keep that clear, I will just keep that open. And we want to add a third one. It's interleaved, so I will just do that first to be sure I don't get lost with my inputs. And I will need to increase one, and then to have this. So if we look at the full divide, the divide 0 goes to the top, and then we can interleave our things together here. It will help me to keep track with those labels. Let's show the other. And so now we have this subtract with the carry that goes here and the result of the subtract, so it's A minus B. And here we have our two mux that will be either selecting A minus B or A, depending on the carry. So now I want to just have the third input of A. So the augmented version, we need to have A0, A1, and A2, but keep in mind that we are starting from A divide 1, because this one will go to the next stage. So it's for that reason that I plug that this way. And then B0, so this one is B. And then I need A1, so that will be A2 for dividend. And then this, and this is our third input. I'll just run that input just there. And so here we need to remove the, so keep in mind that this nut is not included in this block. Last week it was carry, nut, and was selecting the mux. Now we are changing the things, so we have the NAND and the nut. So I need to nut the A2 entry, and I need to take the carry without nutting it with then to an end. So I will just push that here. Can I reuse those powers? Huh. So it's something, maybe I will regret that, but it's something I like to do, like just combine the power side of your transistor, so you can just save a little bit of resources and space. For this one, it won't do much of a difference because I am so wasteful with the space and the block and all that, but so you get a feel to what can be done to improve the block score. So we have our 2 and 3, the carry, and I will add a label. So if you click on something, it will set the first bit. If you click on the second block, it will set the second bit. But the shortcut is, the next shortcut will be really nice. It's backspace, and it sets the focus on the text box for the label name. So now I know this is not A2. I'll put that there. And now I want an NAND. So let's go for that. Classical NAND, nothing special. Let's do that here. We have already our power lines up, and I will just connect them A and B. So you see I have this blueprint that was made with the new version of the game, which includes all probes or inputs as probe in blueprints. So now every time I paste something, I will have the probes. You might realize that it can get really messy real fast. Last week update, I introduced some shortcuts. So if you press Alt, you can remove traces. Now you can also hover onto a probe, and you will have this red border, and when you click, you just remove the probe. So you can place your blueprints really fast, and then when you are done with the probes, because you know that is plugged and you want to clear things out, you can just press Alt and it will delete the probe. So we have that. So with that, we have the augmented version. It's supposed to be just that. And I will go blindly and try to bake the full divide with this version. So I will just take this entire piece. Yeah, I need to take. So I all left. I drew selection rectangle, and then when I'm done with the size, I can press Ctrl and I can extrude that selection. So now everything is selected. I can copy with Ctrl C and paste. And I will put that there. So I will keep almost all of my probes just to make sure that I don't miss anything. But you can clean everything by just doing Ctrl A and remove probes. So this will remove every probe except, of course, the inputs. So if you want to start from fresh, you can. Let's start with our wiring. So I will activate the color mode. Really handy to work with this mode. So the specificity of this mode is every line that is one piece, like this one, will be colored one way, and for every separate lines, and power lines are red and blue, so it's easy to wire things up and then also realize real quick that you miswired something. Let's go with that. So it should be all good. So now I have this above or equal flag that just go there. So this one I won't be using it. The dividend 0, so the least significant byte is there. So I will go and take some space and bring that here. And then I need to have divisor 0 and 1. So those two. So I can just have 0 and 1, which is this one. I need to be sure that I'm not missing the order of the bytes, because it's really important. You know what, just to be sure, I will just name things. So, and I did, okay, I was wrong already, so that's that. So I want I want 0 and I want 1. I don't want this. Up. Okay, this one is I'll call that D1. So let's put D1 up, D1, and then this one is D2. Okay, so we are set for that. And here we have A0, so dividend 0. And then the output will be the output of this stage. So I need to bring those signals all the way back. So let's do that. Up. And I need to make sure I don't mix. Oh, let's just do really enough. And I have enough place to lay down those lines flat. So I'll do that. So usually what I do with that, when I have long lines to draw, like for here it's just 2 bits, but you can do that with any longer. And I just do this, and then you can paste, paste, and then we are there with our signals. So we have all signals we need for this. So we want A0 to go there. So So this one is easy. I will just do this. So A1 E0 is plugged. Now I want my B connected. So yeah, it's not really practical. I should have started my numbering from 0. So we want 0 to go there, and then we want 1 to go there. Okay. Now we want this line, so this is out 1, and I want out 0. Out 0 should be plugged to A1. So this one 0, this was 1. So yeah, when you delete something like here, it will remove the entire probe. So I did that here. I deleted one block, and it was enough to just remove the probe. That's unfortunate. And I was distracted for a moment. So this is the darkened one. Okay. So this one, let's go there. And we plug that here. And that last one will be our A2 entry. It goes to this modified augmented section for the subtract if above or equal. Okay. This should be plugged properly, and then the out will become the remainder. So we can add that here. And then our 2A, I'll just bring that signal over there. So this is a proof of concept. I suggest that you do draft like that, because it's really readable, and as you can see, I can spend some time just wiring things up. That's not the most efficient. Let's bring that signal over there. It's nice and simple. Okay. And now the quotient will be this and that. So our pink line, which comes from the above or equal but modified from the augmented version, and this one is the did I do that? Reverse? Question 1. Yes, I did. So this is like that. And like that. Okay, so let's find out if this old wiring will be nice, or if I miswired something. And in this case, all the probe I've left in places will be really useful. So let's launch that. And we have our first test case that is not responsive. So I will do there. Our reminder is nice, but oh, it's nothing. Okay. Oh, I like this sound. Okay, let's go. And let's start the thing. Okay, second case is not good. Remainder is 2 instead of 1. So let's try to find where I did a mistake. So the way that things work is by staging the two subtracts. Like if you do a division on paper, you just find the most significant digit on the left until you find a number that is divisible by the divisor. And it's quite the same with binary value. So the first stage is really just there to find if it can subtract, and if it can't, it just go to the next stage. So the first stage should be here, and we have our 2 entries, so we can just ignore that number because it's 7. But we want this entry instead, and I will just look at the A because now we have a third byte we need to take into account. So we'll just edit that. So now we have 3 and we want to subtract 2. So it must get the result 1. And the carry should be there, and the carry for that is 1. So that seems cool. And because this stage actually subtracted something, we need the mux to send back that subtraction, and so the out is 1. So we have something cool for this stage. Now at the next stage I will just put back the A probe because it's really handy to have that, and I just happened to remember how it was plugged. So we have 3. B is B is 1. So I think the issue is quite B should be 2, so maybe just as simple as that, but let's add that first. 3. So I will just reverse my wiring. So this is B. So if I expand, I will see B0. Ah, yeah. Okay, that sound is cool. I will just remove those because now it's inverted. And so now we have our least significant goes to the yeah. Kind of mixed up a bit. The thing is so funny. So yeah, usually I do that on one line. This time around I was like, I want to do a squared version. was not a good idea. I mean, we find out it was a good idea because it shows how you can diagnose your circuits. And so far so good. So it will, I think, work as intended, but we want to watch out for the 19th test case. Those are the one using the fourth byte, because before that it's just 0. This is the test of fire. Will it pass? Yes. And I think now it will just go through until the end, because I didn't attempt to do cheese or something like that. So if one case pass, most likely everything will pass. And with that, we have our naive solution for this last week. You see, it's not really the naive solution from the sub-process submission, but the idea was almost the same. It's just the sub-process is using something a little bit more compact, using less space, and like I lay down a lot of traces where it's not really useful. It's quite wasteful in terms of time. I don't know how many ticks I did. Oh wow, I think I have the absolute record. At least those graphs are special because every solution that doesn't meet the following criteria, which is if your solution is out of the 50 percentile on each metric, it will get discarded from the graphs. So it doesn't show there, but I'm pretty sure we can find worst solution. In fact, we can save that, have this horrific yellow mark. But if we go to the Gauntlet, we might see my solution appear. But if you go to stats, every time challenges have submission, it will show here. And if we look for our divide, let's search for divide ticks. Ah yeah, no, so I'm really I'm really absolutely terrible. Anyway, that was our attempt for the naive solution. Thank you so much for following until the last video for this open community. I'm really glad that this happened. It was really nice to see. It's something that was created for a player, for player. So I'm really happy with that. And with that, it concludes this 2025 year. I wish you a happy new year and a good time with your family and friends. See you in the next video.